Good morning, everybody. Mr. Flanders here, and we are on day 5 of our social studies. Whew, we made it. It has been a week, let me tell you. But we're almost done. We're right at the finish line. So if everybody please could pull out these next 2 worksheets. There we go. We'll be looking at our day 5 worksheet for our social studies and building a timeline. And then afterwards, we're going to make our very own timeline. Ooh, exciting stuff. So please get that stuff in front of you and join me in just a moment. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be looking at the last day of timelines for us. So please go ahead and start this lesson off with me by writing your name at the top of your paper. Mr. Flanders is my name, not your name. Don't write it on your paper. And then date. 8/28/20. The 8 is for August, the 28 is for the day, and then the 20 is for the year, which is 2020. Now, for our final social studies lesson for timelines this week, we did split this particular assignment into two pieces, 2 parts, okay? So the first part is really easy, and the second one's pretty easy too, okay? But before I get ahead of myself, let's focus on what we have in front of us, okay? So our directions are to look at the timeline and draw to fill in the missing boxes. So you'll notice, you'll notice that our timeline starts with we come to school. And there's nothing here in this part of the timeline. But then after this spot, you'll notice it says we go home. Okay, and then after we go home, our final spot on the timeline is here. So we have to figure out what comes during our school day. So when we come to school, what do we do at school? And then we go home. And then what happens when we go home? Okay, there's a couple things that we could do. For us coming to school, you could draw a picture of you at recess. You could draw a picture of you eating lunch. You could draw a picture doing math. You could draw a picture doing music. Okay, whatever you feel goes in this spot, you can draw, as long as it makes sense. Okay, if you draw that we come to school and then you take a nap, what? No, none of that happens. I'm not napping, you're not napping. That's not happening. Okay, so what happens after we come to school? So we're at school. What happens after we get to school? And then we go home. What happens after we go home? Do we play Fortnite? Do we eat dinner? Do we watch My Little Pony? What happens? You guys get to fill in those blanks. Okay, it's entirely up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do other than you can't put napping for happening in school. All right? All right. So that is the first assignment for social studies today and for timelines. Our last assignment is actually making our own timeline. Now you'll see there are 1, 2, 3, 4 spots here for your timeline. Your timeline starts in the past. And that means it's something that already happened, and then it goes all the way to present. Okay? So you can make your timeline a couple of different ways, but you have to keep this in mind. It has to be something that's already happened, and then something that's happening now, because that's what present means. It's happening now. So, for example, okay, my timeline could be me sleeping this morning. Okay, sleeping. Z. I need some hair. Not a lot of hair though, because it's falling out. Okay, so I'm sleeping. And then I woke up. Yay, woke up. And I have a spoon and a bowl of Cheerios. Bowl of Cheerios. Okay? And I'm going to eat breakfast. And I'm going to say, yay! Okay? So I'm sleeping first. That happened this morning. Then I ate breakfast. And then I came to the classroom to teach you guys. So here's a picture of me. And this is my pencil. Okay, put a little eraser there. And then this is me with our assignment. Okay. Yay, work. Okay. So in the morning I was sleeping. Then I was eating breakfast, and then I came to work to start working, and then the present, well right now my present is I'm still talking to you guys, so I'm on the computer working. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a picture of me working on a worksheet. Here's my hand with the pencil. Do I need fingers? And then pencil. Sharp point. Pencil. And eraser. Okay, look at that. I am not an artist. That is why I'm a teacher. Oh my goodness. So, I'm going to write sleeping as my first part. Breakfast as the second part of my timeline. The third part of my timeline was working. And then the fourth part of my timeline, which is happening right now, is teaching. Okay? So I went from what happened already to what is happening now. The present. That's happening now. That's what that means. Okay, so you have to create your timeline like this. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine, but I would like to see what you were doing before up to now. Okay? Alright, don't forget to write your name and the date and then the name for your timeline. The name for my timeline is going to be A Day as Mr. Flanders. Boom! A Day as Mr. Flanders. Alright? I think that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Yeah, I think we're concluding. That is the end. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out over Class Dojo. I'm here to help if you need anything. Otherwise, I'm looking forward to seeing these timelines, guys. These I think they're going to look really good. So go ahead and get those to me as soon as you can, and I will see you next week. Have a safe weekend.